Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. So Solana respected again one of our trend reversal areas. We communicated that one already a couple of days ago. I changed it yesterday slightly, but it did never invalidate the previous one even. So even with the previous one, which was just slightly higher here, you could have found an entry point there. And again, it seems to be profitable and it turned where it needed to. Now, as I explained, this is a structure that's fairly straightforward to trade, because it's adhering perfectly to Elliott wave rules, guidelines, the Fibonacci support areas we communicate, the targets we communicated, yeah? In this entire move up, none of our support areas was broken. I think when one was slightly broken down here, but that was the last time. And then we were just focusing on higher, higher, higher. And this was another possible entry point now. And I explained that because we're dealing with an impulse here, yes, within a larger diagonal, but the subwave structure is an impulse. It's quite straightforward to analyze and to trade, okay? So we can always focus on higher against key support levels. And as I said, as long as we're holding that $49.40 level here that we communicated, another extension higher is a reasonable expectation to first $64, but then the next level higher would be $71. Let's see if we get there now. And then $79.50 would be even higher. And can all play out. And sometimes, you know, these are the moments when Elliott wave feels a little bit like magic, what some people sometimes say. It's mainly in an impulse. Yeah, Elliott wave really shines in a trend. It really shines in an impulse. It has more difficulties in a diagonal, but also there the market is adhering to parameters. But the bottom line is you'd rather like to trade normally impulses because they are clear and they give you the parameters you need and you can just follow them. Whereas in a diagonal, it's a bit choppy. You need a more relaxed approach. You need to give a trade a little bit more space. But because we're dealing here in with an impulse, it's quite straightforward. And the market, again, followed the parameters that have been defined. So we probably had a wave follow here. And I'm now following this micro count that I shared with gold members earlier already. So the idea is that it could have bottomed here on Monday in the middle of our support area. This here was likely a wave 1. I mean, you can count it as a 1-2-1-2 setup, but I'm counting it as an ABC structure in wave 1 because the move up is likely a wave 5. And if the move up is likely a wave 5 of C of 3, it can be an ending diagonal. And therefore, it's likely that the wave 1 is an ABC structure. Could do it as a 1-2-1-2 setup, but if it's a 1-2-1-2, then the second one is a little too long. Now again, I cannot rule it out because we're dealing with a lot of distortions on smaller time frames. If it's a 1-2-1-2, it's even more bullish. So in a 1-2 setup here, we have the third wave unfolding now. Where should that get to? Well, we can use the Fibonacci extensions for that. Typically, we say a third in a diagonal should ideally get sort of into the region around the 1.236 to the 1.38 extension, maybe higher. It's just an ideal range. It's now reached that already. The 1.38 is at $62.11 and possibly even higher. You know, they can always extend a little more, especially on smaller time frames. Then at some point we get a 4 and then a last push higher in 5. Can't really give you clear targets, but then we use the targets on the larger time frame for that I explained to you here. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Basically here 64, yeah, is next, and then 71.20. So let's see if we get there. And all of that is valid as long as we're holding now yesterday's low, or actually it's the Monday low. And when can we confirm that the fifth wave is running? Well, you will only get really confirmation once we break above the previous high. But then trading is not about trading when we have confirmation. Trading is when we have a setup like this one. Okay, this was one of our setups. Obviously not a 1-2 setup. Yeah, so it's literally just not necessarily a place to get aggressive in, but it's a place to, you know, scale in, scale out. If you like to trade this, you know. But yeah, we had a nice deep pullback into support. And at some point, obviously, this larger degree fourth wave should start, but we're just not there yet because our micro support, which is used for direct trend continuation in the third wave, never broke. And just a bit of a recap here, what I highlighted to you was that the 1.38 extension for this third wave isn't even an unusual one. So I don't have a problem with it extending further to the 1.5 or even 1.618 extension in the current scenario. That's my update about Solana. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.